Hello, everyone. Welcome back for another episode. We are covering a new project called Protocol X. I'm here with several members of the team to help answer some community questions. I'm really excited to be able to share this with you guys. This is a sponsored video. If you want to be able to find out more about their project, I will be including the links down in the description below, such as for their Twitter, for their website itself, and as well as for their white paper. I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Everything I'm sharing is my own opinion. It's my own research. I highly encourage you to go do your own research. So let's go ahead and get them introduced, and then we'll roll into the questions. They've got a lot of stuff going on with this project. So I'm here with Shiblord as well as Bran. Shiblord, let's go ahead and start with you. Can you tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do with this company?
Yeah, hey, thanks for that, and thanks for hosting this video. My name is Shiblord on the socials, or Neil in the real world. So for this project, I'm the founder and CEO of Protocol X. I have a pretty good team behind me. Brian will introduce himself here in a minute. I've been involved in crypto for several years, got into the employment side of it in the last, I don't know, 7 or 8 months. And this will be a project that will be launching up on BSC that I'll be the founder and CEO of.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Sorry, my name is Bran, also known as Brandon in the real world. I am the CM and one of the founding members on the core team of Protocol X. My job is obviously community management and overall project development. As Neil, I've been in crypto communities and crypto projects for the last 2 years, moderated and community managed a bunch of them.
Awesome. Well, I've got a handful of questions, so let's go ahead and dive right into the first one. Can you tell us a little bit about Protocol X?
Yeah, sure. So Protocol X is at the most base level a rebase protocol on the Binance Smart Chain. So that is the most basic piece of this whole approach that we're working on here. That, however, doesn't take away from the entire ecosystem that we've already developed and designed and built for what Protocol X will actually be. So it's a project that's a rebase protocol that I'm designed to be very sustainable, very transparent, have high levels of security, and have various mechanisms in it that'll make it a less inflationary over time and eventually become a ideally deflationary project on the BSC network and other blockchains. So it's going to be a very pretty clear and cut passive income project that'll start out as a token, expand to NFTs. We'll introduce our own custom liquidity management service. We have a DEX up there. It'll be entirely Web3. That website you're on now will be all Web3 with our own DEX, fully capable of staking, farms, etc. It's our entire DEX just for us. So we'll market it a little bit differently. So it's a very wide array to this ecosystem, generally based around sustainability, transparency, and security, and then becoming overall a multi ecosystem for passive income and DeFi.
For a second, I thought you were going to say a multi-billion-dollar company. I'm like, that's going to excite a lot of people.
Yeah, hopefully, but not
Hopefully.
yet.
And my next question is, what was the inspiration to make this project?
So the inspiration to make this project is we're very big, rebase heads. We've invested in majority, if not all of the rebase projects that have come out in, the BSC scene. One thing that we notice a lot in these projects is the sustainability side. And not saying any projects by any names or anything like that of a sort, is that we thought, hey, how can we do this in our own way that can, be a little bit more sustainable, a little bit less worrying a couple of months in to build the project. So one of the big things and the key takeaways from these projects was the lack of external revenue sources. So we'll touch base on that a little bit later in the video. However, at this current time, with the liquidity management system we're looking to introduce, with obviously our partnerships that we've got lined up with Ego and many, many more things in the project, we're able to, include less issues down the line. So with our sustainability emissions model, every month the project, decreases 10% in daily APR. And what this does, it allows it to be sustainable for a lot longer. Another inspiration was that we have been members of some communities that didn't listen to their investors. A lot of potential problems that could have been solved. One of our main focuses is making sure that everyone in the community is heard, that every single, even if it's a little problem, that people will be heard and the things will be addressed. And that's one thing we're doing with the transparency factor, and making sure everything is, there and ready. If anyone needs to question anything or if anyone needs to ask any questions about anything suspicious or anything they think is wrong, we're there to answer that for them.
What are your long-term goals?
Yeah, so long-term goals are beyond just the rebase protocol. The rebase protocol will always be a play. I want this rebase token, this PTX token, to be a long-term passive income play. I want those NFTs, which you have it right there, the NFT doors, the X share. I want that to be a very long-term revenue share model for our protocol with NFTs involved, obviously. I want our DEX to become something that isn't quite introduced to the space just yet. We want to bring something new and a little bit different than what most others utilize a DEX for into this system. And then we also want to build some very genuine and relatively large strategic business models that'll come down the line as we start getting to that year mark where we transition a little bit to a lower daily yield, that 0.5% daily APR, and then we can really grow some additional business aspects from this because I fully intend on working on this for decades plus. I've actually heard once before that, hey, if you're not willing to leave your stability for something that you're building from the ground up, then this would be just a hobby. I've left my very, very stable career to go crypto full time in May, very much 100% focused on the success and development of Protocol X.
Is your team doxed, KYC'd?
Yes, so all of our team members are doxed. Myself, Neil, everyone is on the website. You can have a look there. We will be updating the website, and our graphics designer, who does an amazing job, Wox, will also be doxed on the website shortly as well within the next update. Not only is all of our team doxed, Neil is KYC'd with Assure. So there's no worries there. One thing we're doing for security in that sense is everything will be owned by Neil. So security wise, all the contracts, everything, the funds will be controlled by Neil. Obviously under a Gnosis multi-sig, majority of which are 4 out of 7 signatures required. So we don't have that opportunity in, our projects go, hey, it's a rogue dev. There's none of that. Everything is owned by the Docs founder, who is Neil. And yeah, everyone else in the team either docs to Neil himself or publicly.
Do you have an audit?
Yeah, so another great question there on the security aspect. So we do not have an audit currently because the contracts are not deployed yet. So we have some pretty good connections with both the top two audit companies out there, the Assures and Certix of the world, of course. There's also several others. So kind of what I'm thinking about is once we go live, I would love to get those higher level audits done on anything that's not going to change substantially. Because as many people know, if you get an audit, it has to remain the same, or you have to apply for an updated audit from there. So we'll get those audits, very high level audits on the things like the DEX that won't be changing contractually and stuff like that. And then we're going to have another pretty significant upgrade, probably about 3 to 4 weeks, that'll introduce those NFTs, as well as some extra complexities and additional methods to our token contract and other contracts there. So in the meantime, but since those updates are coming so soon, I'll look to get one of the lesser expensive audits, that are out there that'll still do a good job, but maybe don't have quite that high level name recognition as Certic and Assure does, of course. And then once those go live in that 3 to 4 week period of time, then we'll get those high level, very secure audits completed as well.
And why did you choose to launch specifically on the Binance Smart Chain?
So with our initial business model of Protocol X, we all know that the home of Rebase is BSC. Our beliefs is not to, don't fix it if it's not broken. I believe there's a strong market for Protocol X on BSC as opposed to other chains, and especially with our business models, to grow and expand on BSC would be a lot easier and more efficient than to originate from another chain. We are looking to go cross chain in the future. Hence the name Protocol X. If you didn't know, the X stands for cross chain. So all of our platforms in the future, we will be looking to make that all multi-chain compatible and get everything flowing on multi-chains.
And is the 30-day cycle based on the same date for everyone, or does that depend on when somebody first buys?
Yeah, so that 30-day SEM model that we've kind of outlined there, that is 30 days from the date of launch. And that'll be every 30 days or every month from that point for that 12-month period of time. So it's that same date, whether you get in on day one or day 365. That's the same mechanism that'll be involved there. And that's very important for us in order to control the emission issue that could come up over time. This allows us to really get ahead of it, increase the sustainability variables while we build up some outside revenue systems. So that is the purpose, is that SEM model is from day one. That's going to be every 30 days from there for 12 months, which also benefits you get in on early, and you get that highest APR before it slowly decreases over time, 10% by each month.
And the next question that I had prepared was, does the 30 days reset if you deposit more?
No. So the 30 days don't reset. The reason for this is for the sustainability aspect. If it was to reset every 30 days, then obviously people would be able to manipulate that, transfer to new wallets and do as such. So the way it works really is the earlier you are, the more you're rewarded. So the APY at a later date won't be crazy less, but it will be less to where if you've held and you've believed in the project and the longevity of the project, you're obviously going to have a larger APY between the days 1 and 365 as opposed to someone who joins 2-3 months down the line. However, the APR will still be good, so you'll still be earning a decent daily interest on your tokens, which will compound. But the longevity, if you're holding from day one and you're getting to month 4, sorry, even though the APR on the daily aspect has fallen, you're still going to be earning a substantial amount because the amount you're holding would have made up for the APR drop.
Will the Xshare NFTs be a fixed price to buy?
Yes, that's another great question. I love this Xshare revenue system that we have there going on with the NFTs. I think it's kind of new to the space, but it also gives the people some of this revenue back that is coming into the project. So they will be at a fixed price. I haven't quite defined the price just yet, but I'm thinking in my head probably between zero point 0.5 and 1 BNB. But that being said, in the first month, if we have 100 million in trading volume, that could change that because it's based on the percentage from the buy and sales tax, right? So I'll kind of break this down as well. These NFTs will go live a few weeks after the protocol goes live, but that revenue share pool will begin on day one. So August 15th, every bit of that 2% of the buy and sales tax will go to its own separate wallet and just be sitting there stacking up ready to go for whenever these X shares go live. So there'll already be a pool established. That's going to give me some good data to make a decision on the exact price to set these NFTs, but they will be fixed. The base model will be the ones that you can buy, and then you'd be able to upgrade via a couple different mechanics that'll facilitate a PTX token burn for the next 2 tiers. So I'll just give you a little bit more of that revenue share model.
Tell us about the Ego trading bot.
So yes, one of our first official partners was Ego. Ego specializes in trading bots. Now, Ego are a brilliant company, a business, a crypto, who have proven track records. So one of our main focuses with a part of our treasury will be investing directly into their Ego trading bot. Now, the Ego trading bot in the last month returned 32% on average for the entire month. So what we're doing is we're bringing external revenue sources from day one, such as the Ego trading bot, which will invest a part of the treasury directly into to generate yield from outside of the protocol. Because one of the main issues within a protocol is it starts eating itself. So early on, we're looking at ways to get the protocol extra income from the outside to cover market and to cover team salaries, to cover development costs, to fund the burn system. And once that picks up and we're able to compound or increase the staking, that all that does is increase the amount of money the protocol is going to have from an external source.
Do you have a specific crypto in mind or a series of cryptos that you guys want to start with for your swap?
Yeah, so there's going to be some information released about how we're going to facilitate other projects and other tokens on the DEX. It's going to be a little bit different than what most do. We've seen many DEXs come out here in recent months, weeks, days, whatever, that will just take anybody in because they treat the DEX as a revenue system for them, which it is, of course. But for us, we're going to require vetting. We're going to require a pretty decent level of security. Is going to be an announcement coming up in the next day or two of whom I'm going to be partnering with. That'll ensure a little bit more on the security aspect, but it'll be personal vetting by our team for those who are permitted to basically utilize our swap. I'm doing that to basically facilitate an environment of strong projects, safer projects. Obviously, anybody can fail, but if there's vetting done and KYC's done, for example, that helps it out. But it also allows us to kind of trade peacefully unless the project actually fails. And with all that said, probably the first exchange that we're going to have on there is going to be with one of our partners, MDB. So if you haven't checked them out, definitely do. They have incredible tokenomics. We're going to have a pair of the PTX MDB on that swap as well because they are an official partner, and their tokenomics paired is going to assist us to benefit our own token value over time as well.
And what will be the trading fee on your swap?
The trading fees will come out at a later date. That will all be in a written document for any project, any protocols to come out. It'll probably be announced with the DEX launch. So the DEX launch won't come out on the same day of launch. We're trying to get it out as soon as possible. However, it will be initially launched as a secondary market. The standard fees will be similar to as of other protocols. However, launching on our DEX, a portion of said fees will go directly back to a protocol that launches with us. A set amount of fees will go directly to Burn, and a set amount of fees will go towards marketing and growth of XSwap. So a full-fledged document will be launching soon in regards to XSwap, what the fees would be for projects to join, the requirements for projects to join, and stuff along them lines.
And do you plan to stop burning at a specific supply?
I do not. So as of right now, obviously with the rebase tokens, there is no defined max supply for these tokens. So our goal is to get these outside revenue sources to a point where they can buy back and burn up to the amount of tokens minted per month. So we have total control of that supply variable. And I think that is very realistic by the 12-month mark, and very likely before that with how we're investing and what we're doing early on to make that happen. Once we get to that point, we have some leeway. We can let it dilute just a little bit if we wanted to. Because of this liquidity management system, we're designing it to create basically a rising floor theory. So we could utilize it for something like that, of course, or we can just allow it to continue to buy back and burn at the rate that there's mints there, which will directly allow us to stabilize and control that token value of PTX. So you don't have a situation where it's 99.8% down from where it was 1 year ago because of inflated supplies from the tokenomics standpoint.
Okay, well, that is all the questions that I had prepared myself. Is there anything else that comes to either one of your minds that you wanted to be able to talk about still?
Yes, I just wanted to talk about really one point. The main focus of Protocol X is sustainability. Everything we do, the partners we surround ourselves with, the thoughts that go into the project, everything to do with the project is all to do with sustainability. That is one of our main focuses. From the SEM model to the liquidity management model, we're even introducing in the future a treasury model, which will auto sell parts of the treasury based on large buys. So as you know, in projects later down the line in a couple of months, they have a big stack of the native token, and they say, "Hey, we need to fund this project. We need to sell some." And then what you'll see is a massive sell on the chart because they need to fund X amount, and it doesn't sit well with investors. So what we're looking to introduce with one of the bots we're looking to introduce with our development team is a auto selling treasury function. So, for example, if a $10,000 buy came in, 1% or 2% based on the size of the buy would automatically sell from the treasury. But that money will be visible there. It'll be completely transparent on the blockchain, and that will be used directly to fund the protocol. So instead of large treasury dumps, which we completely want to avoid because that beats the whole purpose of sustainability, the treasury will automatically sell a small portion whenever it's triggered by a large purchase. Now, this won't happen on a small buy or a sell because that's not sustainable. When there is a large enough buy for the bot to say, hey, that's enough to sell a tiny little bit, continue growing the project, then it will be all AI based and all automatic.
And I'll keep mine brief because Brandon and I can talk forever. So all I'm going to say here is, hey, I want to thank you for hosting this video today. But most importantly for Protocol X, our pre-sale is on August 10th at 1700 UTC. That'll be done through our website, our own smart contract on there. Token price, 0.06 cents, basically 0.06 per token, with a all purchase it in BNB. So have that BNB ready for that pre-sale. There's a 20 million max token supply. So obviously we hope to sell out over that 5 days that we'll have it on August 10th to August 15th. For all the specifics, check out our Discord, check out our white paper, check out our Medium when we release that here the next day or so, because there's so much more to go into that. But get in on the pre-sale, get it with tax-free plus a cheaper price than it'll go when we live publicly on the 15th. There is no whitelist involved. It is a fair launch pre-sale. All you have to do is get on that website, exchange for BNB, and you're in, and you're ready to go for when we go live.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate both of you guys coming on and being able to answer these questions. I feel these are the majority of questions most investors coming into something like this would ask. But obviously, if there are more, they can reach out to you guys. As was mentioned, I'm going to have the different material linked down in the description down below, so you guys will have that ability to go do your own research. Because again, I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Go do your own research on that. So thank you so much, Shib Lord over on Discord, Bran over on Discord. If you guys wanted to talk to them over there, that's their handles, at least as of the time making the video. Thank you guys again so much. If anybody is new that's watching my channel, feel free to hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up like button. God bless you guys. We'll see you in the next episode.